it out. So welcome. If you are just joining, thank you so much for coming. And I know you all must have seen what is going on the social media. You have heard about Yul Edochie and the new wife, Judy Edochie. I've heard about Yul Edochie. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Yeah, so now let's talk about polygamy. Come in, guys. If you can, please share the stream out. Kindly share the stream out so we have more people in the house as we discuss, because this is something that we really need to discuss. Hi, Fabro. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Fabro Happiness, is good to see you. Thank you so much. So this is something I want especially women, ladies, to listen to. I want us to discuss polygamy in Africa. What's your thought about it? Because the internet is going crazy with Yul Edochie's second wife. Can you guys hear me very well? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me that thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me the go ahead if you can hear me. Share this out if you can in your community. Let's get women to come here. Let's discuss polygamy once and for all. We need to talk about this amongst ourselves. And what your thought is about polygamy. What the Bible said about polygamy. What you know about polygamy. What your culture or your tradition is concerning polygamy, especially here in Africa. So get more people in the house. Come in, let's discuss. Yul Edochie just recently declared, like, let the whole world know about his second wife, his new baby, and the internet went crazy. A lot of people have been trying to roast him alive for coming out with a second wife. So this is not even today's news. Like, the woman has been pregnant and she has delivered. She didn't just deliver, but you decided that it's time to let the whole world know that he has a second wife as an African man. Now, you all know Yul Edochie is from Anambra State. He's Igbo from Anambra. And Anambra men, you know, a lot of them are polygamous in nature. And we know Anambra culture. In Anambra, we don't frown at polygamy. We do not frown at polygamy because our culture accepts polygamy. Our culture accepts polygamy. So let's discuss, is Yul Edochie actually breaking any rule here? Is he breaking any rules here? Like, is there something he's doing wrong? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Fabro Happiness, check your health. Check your health. You are in Africa. What part of Africa are you? What part of Africa are you? Let me know, what is your culture concerning polygamy? What do you say concerning polygamy? Let us discuss this. Because where I come from, Yul Edochie hasn't broken any law at all. He did not break any law. As far as I'm concerned, he is an Igbo man. And the only time I feel this is supposed to be a problem is when you, as a man, as an African man whose culture supports polygamy, decides not to tell your wife, or you go behind her secretly to get married. A lot of African men are polygamous in nature. We cannot deny that. Susan, how about it? Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. We are discussing polygamy and Yul Edochie's new wife that he just announced to the whole world. We know that he just recently had a newborn baby, Star. What's his name again? His star is Star Dike. Yeah, Star Dike Mogalu. And no, Star Dike Monachimso Yul Edochie. So we are discussing on African tradition and culture as related to polygamy. So let me know in the comment section. Drop your opinion for me, what you think. This is my own opinion. I'm discussing based on what I know and based on what my tradition and my culture support and what my religion equally supports. Yeah, Rebecca M, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining this stream. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give a thumbs up as you come in. Thank you. So my culture, my tradition, my religion doesn't really frown at polygamy. Now, what I know the Bible said about polygamy is, let's say in the book of Exodus 21:10, it says that if a man chooses to take a second wife, that her food, her clothing, and everything, all obligations of marriage duty, a man must fulfill it. I'm not reading verbatim, like I'm trying to rephrase it. So a man must be responsible for the woman. A man must be responsible for her upkeep, for her needs, for her children. The Bible never condemned polygamy. I have gone through the Bible, especially the Torah, which you call the Old Testament. Our great ancestors in the Bible were all polygamous. A lot of them were polygamous, and they were all friends of God. Friends of God. David is a man after God's own heart. Solomon had so many and concubine. Isaac and Jacob, the same thing with them. Now, there is no place I saw that it has been abolished. The only thing I see is that a man must be responsible. Yeah, a man must be responsible. You say, okay, Susan say, me personally, I will not accept it, but the Bible did not frown against it, like King David, Solomon. Yes, the Bible never condemned it. So, let's look at this man. Now, one thing God hates, we all know, is adultery and fornication. You all agree with me that God frowns at fornication and adultery, converting your neighbor's wife, a man taking another man's wife, which a lot of men today are involved in. A lot of married men are out there cheating on their wives. A lot of married men are out there, sleeping around unprotected, breeding and sowing their seeds here and there. Men are doing that. We know even men who are in the church, men who claim to be disciplined and responsible and God-fearing, they are busy sowing their seeds here and there, condemning polygamy. But God, our creator, did he really frown at polygamy? Instead, he said, you must be responsible for that woman which you take as your second wife. Abraham's wife Sarah, when they were still waiting for a child, Sarah decided to give Hagar, her maid, to Abraham. Why? Because she knows that it is acceptable, that God never frowned at it, because he knows the nature of men. But you must discuss this with your wife. Discuss with the woman living with you. Don't hide any secret from her. If a man is interested in another woman to take her as a wife, he must discuss with the wife living at home. Let her know what you are going into. Let her know that you want to bring home another wife. And there are reasons why a lot of men take second or third wife. It is not just because they want to hurt the woman. Welcome. I'm seeing you guys. Sorry, I just want to drop this, then I'll go through the comment section. Now, it's not just because he wants to hurt the wife. It's not because he wants to make her feel terrible or because he wants to make her cry. There are several reasons. A man may decide to take a second wife because of health issues. A woman may be having some health challenges, which the man, of course, a man who wants a large family, because of the challenge of the woman, may decide to bring in another wife so he doesn't, disturb this woman, especially when it comes to sexual matters. Now, there are some women who just want to have one or two children. There is no problem with that. But when you, as a man, want a larger family, what do? Do you confine yourself to just one or two children because that is what your wife said? And you have the means. Remember, I said the means. You must have the means to take care of these children. You must have the means to take care of multiple wives. It's not for everyone. It's not for anybody. Polygamy is for certain group of people who have the means and the grace to carry a larger family. Now, Sarah gave Abraham her maid because she knows that this is acceptable. If it's not acceptable, Sarah, being a godly woman, wouldn't have wanted to do that. Jacob got married to 2 sisters. Not just him, there are so many people. Even Solomon had so many. Now look at where God punished David and where God frowned at David. When he converted another man's wife, he killed Uriah, deliberately set Uriah up and married his wife. He sent Uriah to the battlefield where the battle is fierce so that he will be killed and he will take over his wife. Isn't it? Now when the man died, he took his wife, and God frowned at that. God was pissed with David for that. He said, if you had wanted more wives, I would have given you. That is God, our creator, saying that if you had wanted more wives, more women, I would have given you. Why did you do this? Why did you take another man's wife? A lot of men out there are busy sleeping with their fellow men's wives. Why don't you go out there and marry a second wife if your sexual libido is high? Why get women pregnant and abandon them as baby mamas? Now, let me go to my culture. I am from Anambra. I'm an Igbo woman. You all know. I am an Igbo woman. And in my culture, when you get a woman pregnant, you must marry her if you want the child. You must pay her bride price if you want the child. If you don't pay her bride price, that child will never be yours. That child will bear the woman's parents' name, the woman's family name. Let's say I am Onwa there now, and my husband impregnates another woman. That child can never be his until he marries the woman legally, pay her bride price. That way, the child can bear his name. Without marriage, the child will never be his. A lot of men are busy, both the young ones, sleeping around, getting women pregnant, paying for abortions here and there, having multiple baby mamas here and there. Why? Yet you claim to be monogamous. You claim to be a man of one wife. Yet you have 3 baby mamas, 4 baby mamas outside. Between you and the man who is polygamous in nature, who is more righteous? Between you and that man who has 3, 4 wives at home, taking care of them, who is more righteous? The man with multiple wives, whom he paid their bride price and married them legally, is more righteous than a man who sleeps around and gets women pregnant while he claims to have 1 wife. Let me go through the comment section briefly. Sorry guys, I have been talking, but let me read your comments, please. Okay, welcome. I see you all. Susan Habauti, Fabro, Rebecca, Family Unboxed. Thank you so much for coming. Joe Peters, I appreciate you. Estelle family, thank you so much. Okay, so you said, Pretty Mary, you said, I'm sad, don't know he had a second wife. Yeah, you shouldn't be sad because this is his culture, his tradition. He never broke any law. He didn't break any rule here. Fabro, you said you can talk. Okay, because you are very scared of the Bible. Elegant Worldwide, thank you so much for coming. Rebecca, you said, sis, don't just be asked of the Holy Spirit to help and guide you to understand it. Yeah, okay. You say, sis Fabro, the Holy Spirit will guide you, for not to add or subtract. Okay, so let's go on. So you see, now the problem, the challenge we're having today is men not consulting their wives, not telling their wives. I was listing some of the reasons why men go into polygamy. I mentioned health issues. Then men who are looking for children. Let's say the woman, they've been trying to conceive and for several years they've done all they could within their power, and then the children are not forthcoming. The man is allowed to take on another wife so that the new wife can have children for him. If the problem is not from him, the man is allowed to take up more wives, especially if he has the means to take care of those children. Another thing is a man with high sexual libido and the wife has very low sexual libido. Now, it's difficult for women to always be in the mood, unlike men who, easily get erection, especially every morning. Men, we know they get erection easily, they get turned on easily, and some of them, their sexual drive is very high. And women, sometimes it's only during ovulation that we find ourselves, getting horny and wanting our husbands. So when it gets to that point, and instead of the man cheating on the wife outside to satisfy his sexual libido, he can marry a second wife. He can marry a second wife so that he won't have to have problem with the first wife, so that they will not be having issues. You all know the reason a lot of men go outside and they complain is because their wife have stopped being sexually active. And this thing, menopause doesn't even help women too, because when a woman gets to a certain age, her sexual drive will definitely go down. If the man is still high, instead of cheating and breeding seeds, sowing seeds outside without the wife's knowledge, he will marry a woman legally to, enjoy himself, and they can live in peace with understanding. I believe with understanding of what polygamy is, I don't think we'll be having issues. Our forefathers, a lot of them are polygamous, and we, some of us young ones, claim that they suffered, and because their father is polygamous, their mother suffered so much, it's injustice against women and all that. That is because the man has no fear of God. A man with the fear of God, a man who has the fear of God in him, will treat the wives he's married to equally and treat them responsibly. He will treat them with love. He will treat them with the same understanding equally. When you buy something for one of the wives, you must buy for the other one. If you cannot afford to, I know the Muslim religion also supports this. You don't treat them unjustly. You do not treat your wives unjustly. If you are buying something for the first wife, make sure you have what it takes to give to the second wife. And your children must not starve. Your children must not go hungry. Biblically, it's wrong. A man who cannot take care of his household is worse than an infidel. So it's not for everyone, but for those who can, you understand your role as a husband. You understand your role as a father. If you play your role well, if you play your part well, your wives will not complain. They will not cry. Recently, there was a burial conducted. The burial turned out to be a battleground. Why? Because while the wife, thinking she is the only wife, was there with her children to mourn her late husband, to bury her late husband, other women came up with their children. They showed up at the burial site with their children, claiming with evidence that this man, is responsible for their children. You see, that is where the problem lies, and deceit. Lies and deceit. Come out clean. If the woman you are married to is not ready to be in a polygamous home, your wife is not ready to be accommodating to other women, then you find an understanding, you find a level ground. If your wife refuses, there are ways we go about it in our culture. You go through the umunna. You go and talk to your kinsmen or her kinsmen. You discuss these things with them. That there is a woman you saw and you intend to marry the woman. When you get the elders will sit down and then discuss. When they reach an agreement, they will send a team. They will send some people to the woman. People she listens to. People she respects. Her family members must also know. They will go and, beg her, try to make her understand the reason why the man wants another wife. They will discuss these things with the woman and then reach an agreement. Usually the woman accepts. Where I come from, it has been happening and it will continue to happen because my culture doesn't condemn polygamy. I don't know about yours, but every culture have their own way of life, and this is our way of life. And we follow biblical injunctions. Okay, I don't know about the New Testament, because in the New Testament, I think that is where Apostle Paul wrote some letters about men getting married to, kind of frowning at the New Testament, men getting married to multiple women. But I know in the Old Testament, which I know God gave his law to his children, to us all, there is no place it is written that polygamy is a sin, or any man who takes more wives should be stoned or condemned. Then women live peacefully because they have understanding. They have the fear of God. They know their roles. They know their duties as wives. They know their obligations. They know their responsibility as wives and as mothers. A lot of women say they will rather have their husbands have several side chicks than have a second wife at all. Why would you want your husband to play around with strange women you don't know? Why would you rather have your husband dig in his manhood in places you don't know? There are spiritual implications to this. There are spiritual implications to men sowing their seeds everywhere, all around. There's a spirit attached to sexual activities. There are spirits attached to it. So when a man is playing around, when a man is busy gallivanting, when a man is busy sowing his seeds here and there are implications. So why would you want a woman out there? Welcome, I see you all. Thank you so much for coming. I see you all. Why would you want a man to bear the cost of another woman outside? There are women who have sworn to wives out, to men out there that God will punish you. They have said all sorts of things that they will never find peace. They will never find peace in their home because they were abandoned when they got pregnant, because they were forced to commit abortion, which probably destroyed or damaged their womb, or they were forced to become baby mamas and single-handedly raise children. A lot of men are carrying curses everywhere. They are carrying curses. Some of them are carrying curses from different women. Carrying curses from different women. If the Bible, if the Christian religion says that men should keep to one wife, then men should also welcome the Banigos. I see you. Thank you so much. Ufama, Galvanized. Thank you so much for coming. Didi Uncut, I see you. Thank you so much. Now, yeah, Didi, you said it's shocking. Sorry, guys. Now, if the New Testament says a man should keep one wife, then men should respect the law and keep to themselves with just their wife. I have problem with hypocrites. I have problem with men, pastors, religious leaders, office holders, deacons, here and there. I have problem with them coming out in church to preach monogamy, but they have multiple side chicks out there. I have problem with men claiming to be godly. To the whole world, they showcase their wife, but behind, they have multiple women. They are busy sleeping and destroying their lives. Why don't you get married if you have the means? If you don't have the means, then keep your thing to yourself. Keep your manhood, chain it, tie your manhood down to yourself, to your wife alone. I don't have issues with monogamy. I'm the only wife of my husband. But if my husband wakes up tomorrow and says he wants another wife, and he gives me reason, and he discusses this thing with me, and made me understand that it is for a particular reason, and he's going to love the second wife as he loves me and take care of us, I don't have issues with that. I understand my culture. I will not go against biblical laws. I know I am not breaking any law of God. I know I am not also breaking my tradition. You get? But where I will have problem, where it will break my heart, is my husband cheating on me. The Banigo, he said, reason is good for another wife. He said, no reason is good for another wife. I would be, my heart will be so broken the day I discover my husband is cheating on me. The day I discover that he has broken the vow. The day I discover that he has defied our bed. The day I discover that he is no longer keeping the law of God. The day I discover that he's no longer keeping the commandments of God. It will break my heart because we made a vow. So my husband cheating is a deal breaker. But my husband getting married to another wife, which he discussed with me, is not a deal breaker. A lot of women, both young and old, are out there claiming they cannot entertain another. But your husbands are busy sleeping around. Which would you rather have? Yeah. Okay. Let me read a few of your comments, please. So, I believe we're now living in the law. Okay, Fabro. It said the Christian law and Western law is one woman and one woman and one man, because it's very difficult to keep. It is not difficult to keep two wives. It is more difficult to keep multiple side chicks. The same money you use to buy gifts for side chicks outside, the same money you use to take care of a woman you are not married to legally and her children outside, you would have used it to take care of the same woman you bring home. I don't know if you get me. So it's not about taking care of. It is about it's a choice, it's a decision. It is not compulsory and it's not for every man. Because there are some men who can't even take care of one wife out there. They can't take care of the woman they are married to, but they have side chicks outside. They cannot even feed the woman God has given to them and the children, but they have multiple side chicks outside. They spend money drinking. They spend money buying her expensive wigs and ribbons. They spend money buying her expensive clothing. They spend money paying her rent. So these men are irresponsible. Simply Trisha, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Susan, you say, no, it is not written anywhere, but individual can decide if they want that kind of life. Me personally, because of my experience from my parents. Yes, thank you. Yeah, personal experience can make you decide you don't want that. You already had boys, so he's not looking for a male child. Of course, he's not looking for a male child former. So it's not because of a male child. It's not because of children. He had 4 children, 1 girl and 3 boys. So he's not even looking for children. So he didn't marry this woman because of children at all. Now, let me tell you, the reason why he must have gone to pay her bride price could be the tradition, our Igbo tradition. If he hadn't gone to pay her bride, Ufoma, you are Igbo, right? If Ufoma, you are Igbo. Thank you, Gracie Ward. Thank you so much for this super chat. Thank you so much. Now, because of his tradition, if he didn't pay her bride price, Ufoma, this is specifically for question you asked. That child, that boy will never be his. That boy will never be his child. That boy will never bear his name. He has lost the child. That is our culture. You can't take a woman's child if bride price is not on her head. You cannot take her child. The child will bear the woman's family name. So that is why Yul had to pay the bride price. That is why he had to marry her. He said, okay, sorry guys, I may not be pinning this because I'm streaming with my phone and I don't want to distract the chat. I don't want to distract the... So this could be the reason. He may not have wanted to marry this lady. And now that is what I talk. That is what I have been saying. Men, if you know you are not ready for a second wife, you are not ready for the responsibility of a second wife and a large family, stop having unprotected sex outside. Stop sleeping around. Stop getting women pregnant. A lot of women are baby mamas, not by choice. Men even marry with 10 wives, still cheat. That is irresponsibility. Men who are married to multiple wives and still cheat are irresponsible, just like men with 1 wife and still cheat. So a man who is irresponsible, a cheater will always be a cheater. An irresponsible man will always be an irresponsible man. It doesn't matter. An irresponsible man, whether he has 10 wives, the Banigo, whether he has 10 wives, he will still cheat because he cannot keep his thing to himself. That is why there are reasons. So your reason for having a second wife may differ from another person's reason for having a second wife. If Mr. Paul decides to go for a second wife, his reason for going for second wife may be different from what Charles, is looking for. So reasons differ. You understand? So what am I saying in essence? A lot of women are baby mamas, not by choice. Not because they choose to. I know there are few out there who just want to be single mothers. They don't want the headache. They don't want this man's headache. They don't want the headache of all these men. They don't want their troubles. They don't want stories. They can't deal with heartbreaks. They can't deal with promiscuity. So they choose to just be single. People like Linda Ikeji, for their mental... People like Linda Ikeji chose to be a single mother. People like this actress, what's her name, Inedo, chose to be a single mother. They have the means. They have what it takes to take care of the children. But there are also women out there who are not ready. They never planned it to be a single parent. But some men put them in this family way, and abandon them. And some of these men are married. They abandon these children. They forget about these children. There are men who don't even know that they have children. Women have decided to, to keep the pregnancy to themselves and raise the children, single-handedly. Some men have children out there, they don't even know their whereabouts. They don't even know they have children. So my question is this. Why would a man who knows he doesn't want multiple wives, he doesn't want to be polygamous in nature, choose to be sleeping around? You already have a wife. Why don't you stick with your wife? If you want to be monogamous, why don't you maintain that? Respect the vow. Respect your marriage. Respect the vow. Respect that vow. Respect this woman you kept at home. This woman that is your better half. Respect her. And then stop gallivanting. Stop cheating. But if you have the means, discuss with your wife. Go to her family if she is not ready. Discuss with her family members and then let them beg the woman. Talk to her and see if they can win her to accepting, the second wife. And if there is understanding between both of them, like two women can live like sisters. My kind of woman, sorry guys, my kind of woman, I can live with another woman. So long as she understands our tradition, so long as she has the fear of God, so long as the woman understands her place as a co-wife, we can live together in peace and in harmony, with respect, mutual respect for one another. If we can do that, polygamy will not be a problem. Now look at the recent killings that has been happening. Men killing their wives, women killing their husbands. These are all monogamous homes. What brought about all this? Extramarital affairs, cheating. Women who have killed their husbands because they discovered that their husbands cheated on them. A woman chopped off her husband's manhood. Why? Because she discovered the husband cheated on her. I mean, let's be logical about this. Let's be realistic here. The other woman poured hot water on her husband while he was asleep. Hot water while the man was sleeping. Why? The man cheated on her. Another stabbed the husband while he was sleeping. Why? Because she discovered that he had a child outside their marriage. It's painful. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating to find out that your husband is raising other children outside, that your husband has other children outside, that your husband is cheating not just with one woman, but with multiple women. Why don't you reach an agreement with that man if you discover that he loves cheating? If you discover that his sexual drive is too high and you cannot satisfy him, why don't you just discuss with him, man, if you know you're going to go on with this, it's either you pick a responsible woman and bring home, or I'm out of this marriage. You are free to walk out of any marriage you're not comfortable in. You are free to walk out and end any marriage that is causing you pain and tears. You are free to ask for divorce if your husband is cheating and you want to leave. I mean, it is a deal breaker for you. But women, we prefer to deceive ourselves. We can condone men cheating. We can condone side chicks. We can pretend and turn the other way around. We can overlook, even when all evidence points at your husband cheating, even when you know the side chicks of your husband, you would rather go to sleep peacefully than have a second wife, a co-wife. Who are we deceiving? I am not saying every woman should welcome home another man. This is for men especially. If you cannot take care of one wife, please stay away from polygamy. If you don't have the balls to talk to your wife, if you don't have the balls to discuss with your wife about a second woman, stay away from cheating. Back then, how is done? In our villages, how is done? When a man is interested in a woman, he doesn't go sleeping with the woman. He doesn't go start cheating on her. He will let his people know that he has seen another woman and he wants to marry her. Then he discusses with the wife. But today what we have are men who jump around. And when you ask them, they say they cannot tell their wives that they want a second wife. Then you don't have balls. That means you have not been good to her. But you can cheat around. You can hurt her feelings. You can make her cry every night without even thinking. But you cannot tell her about a second wife you are interested in. You get women pregnant, you give them money for abortions here and there, but you don't have the balls to tell her that you want to be a responsible man to this woman. The society is decaying. So polygamy is welcomed if you can, if you are responsible enough to manage a big home, if you are responsible enough to take care of multiple children, a large family. It's not for men, it's not for weaklings. It's not for weaklings, not for men with lily liver. It's not for men who can take care of their homes. It's not for ungodly men as well. It is for men who knows what polygamy is about. This man, Regina Daniels' husband, has 6 wives before he married her. She was very, very young. He came out openly that he's polygamous in nature. Everybody knows that. He is still a respected man in the society. I will respect that man 10 times more than a man I know is cheating on the wife. I will respect a man with multiple wives than men who are cheating on their wives and causing their wives pain. Men, polygamous men have my respect anytime than men who are serial cheaters. I have zero tolerance for cheaters. Zero is a very big deal breaker for me. You cheat on me, then you know that we are ready to box. If you cheat on me, but come to me and say you want to marry a second wife, I will personally even follow my husband to go marry a second wife. If he gives me the chance, I will personally even help him select the woman he wants. But the day I discover my husband is sleeping around, then that day he knows that he has defied our marital bed. He has broken the vow. The vow goes unbroken. You must not break the vow. Instead, make yourself a responsible man. Make yourself a responsible man. You cannot be breeding children out there. You cannot be getting women pregnant. You cannot be destroying homes. A lot of married men are destroying other married men's homes, breaking their marriages. How do you sleep? Sleeping with a fellow man's wife. And the women who are married are equally doing the same thing. What do we want? The internet is going crazy. Everyone is shouting, Yul Edochie did something. Yul Edochie did something that no man should have done or what. He didn't kill anyone. He made a mistake and owned up to his mistake. They said, who never fuck up? Make you raise your hand up. Sorry, Whitey, I don't know. Don't take. Who never mess up? Make you raise hand up. We all have made our mistakes. He made his mistake. And guess what? He righted the wrong. He did the honorable thing. He paid her bride price. He brought her home. He honored her. That is what men should do. This is what responsible men should do. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I am not perfect. But when you do, right your wrong. Correct your mistake. Welcome, Sandy Coco. Thank you so much, guys. I'm seeing you, please. This topic is just something I really need to put out here. I'm seeing you guys. I'll go through it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your coming. I really appreciate. So, now, there are reasons why some men cannot own up to their mistake. Why they cannot right their wrong. Why they cannot bring home a second wife, even when they know they have the means to take care of another wife. One is the fear of the wife, the woman at home. The fear of that woman is the beginning of wisdom for him. The fear of telling your wife that you want a second wife is the beginning of wisdom. So for this, men choose to keep messing around, cheating, and the woman choose to just ignore and throw her face the other way around and pretend. And both of them are pretending it's no longer marriage. When you both pretend, when you both are secretive, defiling the marital bed. Hey, my husband is here, Cornelius. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining. So, they are afraid. They cannot tell their wives. Marriage is all about understanding. If you don't have understanding with your partner, there is a problem. If you cannot discuss, you cannot dialogue with your wife, there is a problem. There is a problem. A lot of women have seen their husband's chat here and there. They know this side chick. They have their pictures. But what they say is, so long as she's not in, no problem. So long as she doesn't come into the marriage, they are ready to take it. But what about the children out there? What, these are your husband's, your husband's children. Your husband's children is, they are equally your children. If your husband has children outside, those children are yours. If a co-wife has a child, that child is equally the first wife's child. It's not a child is not just for one person. So that means you have your husband's children littered around. You don't know. Even when you know, you pretend. We hear baby mamas here and baby mamas here and the baby. Some women are baby mamas to 3 different men. But they cannot be second wife to a man who is already married. Hello? Hello? Who are we deceiving? You have children for different men, but you cannot afford to have, to come in and be a second wife, but you have children, multiple children for different men. Hello? Who are we deceiving? Which is biblical? Which is godly? If you have made the mistake of having a child outside wedlock and the man wants to marry you, he wants to make you a wife, please, by all means, accept if the wife accepts you. Some women will accept you. Not all women will say no. Some women will. They'll welcome you. They will welcome me. I am that woman who will welcome another woman into my home. If my husband, sows an illegitimate seed outside, I will make him, he has to be responsible for that woman. He has to do the right thing. He will marry her. He will pay her bride price and bring her home. I will not have my husband's children outside. I will not have my husband's seed outside. And he must be responsible, because if you have the means to spend money and waste money outside, then you must have the means to take care of the both of us. You must have the means to take care of us. You must. It is your duty, because the Bible has put it to you that a man who cannot take care of his family is worse than an infidel. Do you want to be an infidel? Do you want to be an infidel? Ijama, thank you so much for coming. So every man must own up to his mistake. Stop sowing seeds. Like, I pity when I see some women struggling all by themselves, alone, carrying the burden when they are not prepared for it. They will have to walk carrying around a baby, a toddler, or a pregnancy, because they were abandoned by a man. Worst case, even a married man. You see this woman single-handedly struggling to parent, struggling to feed, struggling to take care of other bills. By after being put in a family way by a married man who claims to be responsible out there. Yeah, this is our law. Our ancestors did it in the past and they are better. Okay, yeah. This is I don't say what I don't know. My husband is in the chat there. Okay, we have discussed this thing over and over. Okay, my husband is in the chat, so I don't just say it because I cannot do it. My husband is there and he knows this. He knows that this is me. I understand my culture and my tradition. And so if you do wrong by getting a woman pregnant, be ready to bring her home. You must take care of that woman and the baby. You cannot abandon her outside to suffer all by herself. So what Yul Edochie did by marrying this woman, instead of making her a baby mama, just like so many actresses have been made baby mamas. They have been made baby mamas out there. You decided that this is not. If you know Yul Edochie's father, Pete Edochie, he is a traditional man. Pete Edochie that I know will not have his grandchild outside, will not have an illegitimate grandchild outside. You must do right. You must do right. You must pay her bride price. So he knows the family he came from. He knows the kind of father he has. He knows his culture and his tradition. Okay? So he has to do the right thing. The problem I have with people who are busy bashing Yul Edochie is that these same people, majority of them are women. Women whose husbands are cheating on daily. Men whose husbands cheat on every blessed day. Some of them don't come back home. They don't even come back. They don't know where their husbands sleep. They don't know where the man passed the night. Yet you are here condemning a man who decides to do right after making a mistake by marrying another wife. He didn't marry Judy because of children. He made a mistake, got her pregnant because he couldn't keep his thing to himself. And he decided not to use protection. A man who decides not to use protection is looking for another child. If you decide not to use protection and you are having unprotected sex, you are looking for children. Know it and have peace today. Know it and have peace. If you decide to sleep around without protection and you cannot keep your thing in between your leg to yourself, you are looking for more children. And what does that tell you? That means you want a large family. That means you have the means. You are ready to be a polygamous man. If you are not ready, stay away from other people's wives and children. That is somebody's daughter. You are ruining her life. That is somebody's daughter. You're destroying her life. That is somebody's daughter you're putting in the family way to suffer all by herself. So, if you know you're not ready, keep your thing to yourself. Respect your marital vow. Respect your wife. Respect the vow you made to her. The day a man decides to go and sleep outside without protection, that day he has told himself that he wants more children, and indirectly he's calling for another wife. So, which would you prefer? Pretend your husband is not cheating on you? Or deal with the woman? I mean, it is better I know who my husband is sleeping. It is better I know. It is better I know that I am not just the only wife. And then I have some respect and some dignity. Some men who claim to be men of God, people look up to them. They have people who look up to them. People who practically worship them. They are role models to a lot of people, but the things they do, how they mess people's wives up, other young women up, people who they are supposed to protect, they are busy ruining their lives. I have zero respect for those men. They don't have my respect at all. They don't. So, tell me again, is there any place in the Bible that condemns polygamy? Why do we frown at it? Why do we keep condemning any man that comes out boldly to want a second wife? But you go fight side chicks on daily basis. We see videos of men, of women who go out to fight side chicks, pour them water, pull down their wigs, beat them up. Some get beaten up. They send group of guys to go beat up a woman, and strip her naked. How many side chicks are you going to fight? How many side chicks are you going to fight and humiliate? You fight A, your husband goes for B. You fight B, he goes for C. How many are you going to fight? Can you stop this man? If you already know his libido is high, sit this man down. He's your husband. He's your husband. Sit him down and discuss these things. Dialogue with him. Man, I can no longer take this humiliation. You are disrespecting me. You are bringing dishonor to this marriage. You are bringing dishonor to this home. What do you want? Don't condone it. Don't close your mouth. Don't pretend you don't know. Because at the end of the day, you are doing yourself a great disadvantage. At the end of the day, you will be the one to lose out. If anything happens At the end of the day, you discover that your husband has multiple children outside. Your heart is broken every day. They call you to tell you your husband is at so hotel. Your heart is broken every day. You see or you catch your husband with different women. Is it not about time you sit him down to be a responsible man? Since he's not ready to be responsible? Is it not about time you discuss with him? It is better you discuss these things. Let him bring home the woman so that the day he decides to cheat, the two wives can put hands together and do something about it. Yes. You go fight. I see women humiliate themselves, like they humiliate themselves outside fighting side chicks that they know. You fight in Nkechi tomorrow, Anita shows up. You fight Anita, Queen shows up. You fight Queen, Amaka shows up. How many are you going to? This man's sexual libido or sexual drive is very high. His sexual drive is very high. That means you have to do something about it. It's either you should be ready to satisfy him every night, like drain him if you have the energy. Get ready to drain him. Drain him every day. If he has, make sure he has no energy left. But if you cannot, it's either you let him continue cheating and bringing curse upon himself, because a man who cheats and breaks a woman's heart, there are women who will put their hands in their private destiny and swear that it will never be well with a man. There are curses on a lot of married men. Curses. Women who go for abortion and probably suffer a serious problem can swear with the blood of that child that it will never be well with a man. And you are sleeping peacefully at home while your husband goes about carrying curses upon curses. Because you don't want a co-wife, because you can't entertain a co-wife, but you can entertain a woman, getting pregnant here and there for your husband. You can entertain a man sleeping around and then bringing sexual transmitted diseases to the house, to you. Any man who sleeps unprotected is infecting the wife. You keep treating different infection. You keep treating infection. You know your husband is cheating. You keep taking medications. You keep taking drugs. Because, of course, he must sleep with you. He is your husband. He must sleep with you. Lily Talks, welcome. Thank you so much. Because he must sleep with you unprotected. Are you going to deny him his sexual right? No. What do you do? What do you do? Is it not better you force him to be responsible by bringing home another wife? And then if the both of you drain, by the time you exhaust him out, he won't have any energy to cheat again. And the day he decides to go out, you know what to do. You know what to do. You won't hear it from me. You know what to do. So I will say it again. Polygamy, it's not a sin. Both biblically, traditionally, culturally, it is not a sin. It doesn't make a man irresponsible. Yeah, okay. Now I saw something that Fabro wrote. You said that he married without her permission. Now, that is what I want to also address. Yul Edochie made a mistake, because I saw the wife's comment on his post. I saw her comment. She said that God will judge the two of you. And that is true, because he hurt her. She knows that Yul has been cheating. The relationship didn't start today. The relationship did not start today. They have been dating since 2018. From what I heard, they have been dating. They have been, having extramarital affair. The wife knows the husband is cheating. But like so many of us, so many wives out there, we pretend that we choose to be quiet. We choose to be silent. We just pretend to be that good wives, even when it breaks our heart. Even when we cry every night, we will rather keep quiet. And then until the lady got pregnant. So he didn't tell her. That is where I hold Yul Edochie accountable. Like, I blame him seriously for that. He did wrong. Okay, the Banigo say, what is she supposed to do when she found out that he was cheating? Now, you cannot stop a cucumber that goes around. Okay? I don't know how long they have, I don't know if they have ever tried to sort this out. I don't know if they've ever had to discuss this for her to ask Yul Edochie what he truly wants. Personally, the day I discover that something is wrong somewhere, I see even a chat with a strange woman that is not going towards the right direction, we will talk that day. That is the day we will discuss. I will not pretend. I will not close my mouth. The problem with us women is we close our mouth and we pretend all is well. We pretend our marriage is perfect. So she should have confronted him and if possible call him out. When you call your husband out and when you speak with him and he's not ready to change, call him out to family members. Report him to family members. You are a woman from a family. Report to his family. You are married. Yes, avoid fornication and all that. Okay, one man, one wife. So, call the man out, report him to his family members. You are part of the family. You are a wife married legally into the home. So, when your husband decides to cheat, report him. And if he refuses, let them force him to marry the woman. He must marry her. If you, the woman, accepts that, and if you cannot, you leave the marriage. I will not deal with a cheater. I have the right to walk out of that marriage. I have the right to end a marriage when my husband decides to be a community dick. I will leave the marriage. I would rather have you be a responsible man. So that is what I say. You choose what you want. If he is not ready and you cannot stop him and is a deal breaker, would you rather keep having him sow his seed everywhere and bringing infections to you, dishonoring your marriage, taking, heaping curses upon himself? It's better you walk away. Walk away if you can, except you're ready to deal with that. If it's not a deal breaker, because there are women who cheating is not a deal breaker. Okay? This is for women who knows that it's a deal breaker. Because if you want to go and fight side chick, what if you get beaten up? What if you get beaten up? You can't fight a side chick. What if you get beaten up? That's my question. So if you talk, it's time. It is time that we allow men. It is time, because I have zero respect for a cheater. I have zero respect for a cheater. So if you cannot keep your thing to yourself, then you're not ready for the marriage. If I discuss with my kinsmen and discuss with your kinsmen and they cannot control your thing that is going up and down, then you are not ready to be my husband. I will leave the home. I will leave the marriage. My husband is asking, what if he said, what if the wife refuses to allow the man to marry her? If the wife refuses that the husband will not have a side chick, I said, discuss with her kinsmen, discuss with her family, discuss with whomever, discuss with people she respects, people she can listen to. If you as a man have a cogent reason for wanting a second wife, you don't just wake up and say you want a second wife. You don't just wake up and say you want to marry another woman. What are your reasons? So Cornelius, I ask again, what is your reason? If you wake up tomorrow as my husband and you want to marry a second wife, what would be your reason? Will you be man enough to discuss it with me? Can you give me your reason? Is the reason cogent enough? Or you just feel like jumping around on another woman? Except you got the woman pregnant. And of course, we know by our culture, your seed cannot be outside, your child cannot be outside. So except by that, I cannot say, okay, without even any other reason, for the sake of that child. And if the woman is ready to be a second wife, then bring her home. If she is, the Banigo, sorry, let me see your question again. You said, oh my dear, what if the man marries the new wife and she's the one that is cheating and brings the sickness to the man? Then he gives the first wife. Sorry, guys. I mean, a married woman cheating as a second wife, she's the one cheating. What happens to the bride price? If the man discovers the wife is cheating, you have the right to end the marriage. You should send her back to her people. She has no business. Now, there is something my people do when we go for traditional marriage. A woman and a man takes oath. You don't cheat. You take oath. You don't cheat. You don't cheat. My culture doesn't tolerate a married woman cheating. Same as a married man, except the man wants to marry a second wife. The Banigo, okay, let me see. You say what if the man marries the new wife? Okay, I saw this. Say you never see anything, my sister. Married women cheat. Yes, I know married women cheat. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying now. That's why I want to say this thing now. In my place, why tradition? Before we conclude the traditional marriage, there is something we do. Guys, listen, please. There is something we a married woman does not cheat. Read my lips. If you cheat, there is something that will happen to you. You either fall sick or die. Or while trying to deliver, something will happen. A married woman does not cheat where I come from, and we uphold that till tomorrow. So I cannot be in my husband's house and wake up one day and then have a knot loose in my head and decide to go and cheat. Same also with a married man. Married men don't cheat, except you want to marry a second wife. Some people, some tradition have removed certain things. They've gone to undo those things. And from Anambra, CZJ, they've gone to undo. The Banego, that's because I know of only my place. I can't speak about another person's culture. Okay? I don't know about other culture that does this, but I can only speak of what I know. You get? So, since I don't know your culture, that's why I keep saying where I come from. Where I come from. Okay? Because this is what I know. So, what if the guy has to do traditional rites? Let me see. There's something someone said now. I need to read it out. So what if the guy has to do a traditional rite for the second wife, but keep it hidden from the first wife? It is not right. It is not right. You have to tell the first wife. You don't go behind her and pay a bride price. You will make her sad. And if she cries to God, trust me, it is not right. The man will pay. You don't make your wife cry. You don't break her heart. That is why you must be man enough to discuss. If you're not man enough to discuss it with your husband, with your wife, that means you are not ready to control your home. You are not ready to be a man. You are not ready to be the head of the household. You are not ready to be a polygamous man. Because you must have the balls to discuss. If you have the balls to cheat, then you must have the ball to discuss it with her. Okay, yeah, you say you don't have to believe it, or yes, I don't. You don't have to, because this is my own culture, and it's not just binding on the woman, it's also binding on the man. Okay, so why they do this is so that women and men will not be promiscuous in marriage. It forces a woman and a man to be responsible. Yeah, Lily Talk, you say, I respectfully don't agree with some of the things, but I respect your culture. Yes, thank you very much, Lily Talks, for that. Thank you, AE29, for that super chat. Thank you so much. Lily, you know why? Because it stops promiscuity. You don't just wake up and start cheating. You don't just wake up and start cheating on your husband or on your wife. There are consequences. This is the reason why it's done. If you are not ready to be responsible, then you are not ready to be married. Stay single. Marriage is for those who are prepared for it, those who are ready. If you are not ready to keep to your wife, you are not ready to keep to your husband, then you don't have any business being married. So this cultural, this traditional thing is done is to curtail promiscuity in marriage. As a single, you want to cheat, you want to do anything you want to do. You are free. You are not binding. But when you now decide to be a married woman and you decide it's time to start cheating, what does that mean? What are you looking for? Who can inspire? Oh my God, good to see you. Who can inspire? Leave me a comment there. I have missed you. I've been looking for you. Yeah, I took a long break for almost a year. Thank you so much for coming. Guys, please don't forget to smash the likes, please. As you come in, give me a thumbs up. Now, it contains promiscuity. Before a married woman decides to cheat, she will think twice of the consequences. A lot of African traditions do this. You think twice before you go out cheating. Like when you decide to get married, that means you are ready to be a responsible wife, a responsible mother. That is why you are getting married. So why marry and cheat on your husband? Why marry and cheat on your wife? That is why I have a problem. Why marry and cheat? So this culture of mine prevents women. Even when you want to cheat, you will think about the consequence before you cheat. You will think about the implication of what you are doing. You will think about your children. You will think about your husband before you make yourself a widow. It contains that. You think twice before you do it. I cannot wake up, no matter my stupidity, I cannot wake up as it is now and decide to go cheat on my husband. Like, am I high? I don't understand. No matter the temptation, I must resist it. That thing makes you resist the temptation at all costs. Like you resist the temptation even when your flesh wants to give in. Your brain will tell you you want to kill yourself. Your brain would remind you of your culture before you go ahead and do that. So what do? You hold yourself and you stop. You stop. Same thing as men. That is why my culture allows men to marry multiple wives. So you don't have any reason to cheat. If you want to cheat, bring the woman home, even if it's 10. Sure, you have the energy, you have the money, you have the resources, you are ready for the battle of polygamy, because polygamy is not perfect also, just like monogamy is not perfect. Just like it's not perfect, monogamy is not perfect, polygamy is not perfect. So polygamy comes with its own battle. So you as a man that wants polygamy, be ready for the battle that comes with it. It's not also perfect. Be ready for the headache, the complaint, the daily quarrel and fighting. Be ready for the jealousy that will come up. Are you ready for all this? So before you go ahead to marry a second wife, you have to ask yourself if you are ready for it. If you are not ready, stay clear. And as you're staying clear from another wife, equally stay clear from single ladies. Stay clear from them. If you are not ready to be responsible, stay clear. You don't go about sowing seed, having unprotected this thing here and there, and you expect there are no consequences. If you must marry the woman. It's a must. Otherwise, you are ready to lose me too. I will pick my bag and leave the marriage. Cheating is a deal breaker. I keep saying, what do you want? What is a deal breaker to you? What is your deal breaker may not be a deal breaker for me. But cheating is my deal breaker. So the day you decide to cheat, know that you are ready to be a single man again. That I'm no longer going to be your wife. Diane, thank you so much. Sizzle J, thank you so much. Just know that, thank you for that thumbs up. Estelle family, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Just know that you are ready. I will fight for divorce. I will also end the marriage. Then you'll be a single man. Go ahead with those side chicks. You have to choose. It's time we make men responsible. It's time to make that man responsible. Make him sit up. The day I catch you cheating, you must pay for it. You will pay for it you must marry that woman. Sure, you want another wife. You want the headache that comes with, AE29, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. So it's a deal breaker for me. For others, it may not be a real deal breaker. Cheating, some women cheat also. I know some women cheat. I know that. And nothing happens to them. But for those women who know that cheating is a deal breaker, you must sit your husband down and make him a responsible man. Make him understand that you are not ready to condone that. You are not ready. So I'll be wrapping up shortly. I actually wanted this to be 1 hour. just 1 hour, but it's a little bit above 1 hour now. So now, rounding up, I want to say that polygamy, please, as a woman, know what you want. Polygamy for me is not a sin. My Bible never told me that it's a sin. So I cannot go and bring up a sin where there are no sins. What I know is cheating, fornication, adultery. Yeah. Adultery, they are all sin. Coveting your neighbor's wife is a sin. When you as a married man go out to fornicate, is a sin. Is a sin. When you go out to sleep around with side chicks, is a sin. God told David, if you had wanted, I would have given you more wife. Why take another man's wife? And you shed blood. And what happened to that child? The child died. That is the price David had to pay. He lost the child. God would have given him any beautiful woman he wanted. If he had said, oh God, I want this beautiful lady, this single lady, I want her. God will say, okay, my son, I'll give her to you. Solomon had multiple. God never cursed him. Rachel and Leah were two sisters married to one man, a man who also fears God. So, fornication and adultery is a sin. And as a man, please, polygamy is not a sin. Cheating is a sin. Breaking your wife's heart is a sin. Thank you so much, Diane. Thank you, Estelle Family TV. Thank you so much. Greetings to you. It's a sin. When you go about having children outside your marriage is a sin. When you break the marriage vow is a sin. When you defy the marriage bed is a sin. When you go to take another man's wife is a sin. These things are sin. So if you have the means as a man, you have the resources, you know that you can manage a large home, please discuss with your wife, go ahead and take another wife. Go ahead and marry. If your sexual drive is very high and your wife can no longer satisfy that, your wife can't satisfy you, or she just put to bed, or she's weak, or she can't meet up with your drive, discuss with her. Remember, I said discuss with her. Discuss. Don't go behind your wife to marry another wife. Don't go behind your wife to pay a bride price. Carry her along, especially if she understands your culture. There are a lot of men who understand, whose wife understand their culture and their tradition, but they are the ones who, without balls, they are the ones who cannot summon the courage, because to the society they want to be the perfect husband, a husband of one wife. To the society, because of their office, their position in the church also, their deacons, their pastors, they don't want what people will say. Are being hypocrites. Hypocrites. Because you go behind those people who look up to you, who respect you, who see you as a godly man. You go behind them to sleep around, but you don't want them to know that you have a second wife. There is a pastor in one of these African countries that recently married 4 women on the same day. I respect that man. He's a pastor. But he equally came out, he said, he knows what he wanted. If you know what you want, go for it. I respect him. He knows what he wants. And he backed it up. And he carried the women along. They know, they know themselves. Don't go behind your wife. If you know you cannot discuss with her, you cannot discuss with your family, then you have no business having multiple wives. If you cannot run your home, if you cannot take care of one wife, you don't have any business marrying 2. If you cannot take care of the children, which the children your wife has given birth to, you don't have a reason getting more children outside. Keep your thing to yourself. Respect the marital vow. Respect your wife. Honor your home. Don't bring dishonor to your marriage. Stop bringing dishonor to your home. Stop heaping curses. Hey, a lot of men, you need more than deliverance. You don't know the curses upon your head by the virtue of sleeping around and breaking women's hearts. By the virtue of getting them pregnant and forcing them to go for abortion. By the virtue of letting them single-handedly become single mothers when they are not prepared to be single mothers. You are heaping curses. You cannot go unpunished, because God is, there are things God, you don't just, how do I put it? Or you don't just wash away. You must pay. nemesis. Karma is real. Karma is real. Let's be guided. Let's be guided. Do the honorable thing. Do the right thing. If you cannot be a polygamous man, then you don't have any right cheating on your wife. If you cannot have the balls to bring home another wife and make the honorable thing on her, then you don't have any reason cheating on your wife. You don't have any reason. Side chick, you don't have any business with side chick. Keep your wife. If you want to be a man of one wife, keep a man, make him one wife, make her one wife. Do the right thing. Stop cheating. And if you by accident, just like you mistakenly get a woman pregnant, then you should also mistakenly do the honorable thing. Mistakenly find her parents, mistakenly find her kinsmen and do the right thing. Mistakenly, that same way you mistakenly got her pregnant, you have to mistakenly go and do the right thing, just like Yul Edochie has done now, which brought this topic. He did it. He made a mistake. He righted his wrong. I feel sad only that he didn't tell the wife. I feel bad that the wife was not aware until he broke the news. And I don't know if the wife equally knows that he has been cheating and kept quiet and pretending, just like so many of us. So many women who know that their husbands are cheating would rather pretend. They would rather pretend. So what if she knew about the relationship but kept quiet? After all, she's a wife of a celebrity, so she doesn't want anybody to know that her husband is cheating, until the husband finally went and paid bride price on the woman. And he did it because he knows that that child will never be his. It's a boy child. That child will never be his if he doesn't pay her bride price. That child will never be his. So is Yul Edochie ready to have illegitimate child outside? No. Pet Edochie will not even have his grandchild outside. So I say it again before I wrap up. Guys, be responsible. Be responsible. Thank you so much. I'll be wrapping up now. AE29, God bless you. You are a darling. Thank you so much. Be responsible. Respect the marital vow. Respect your wife. Stop causing her pain. Thank you. I will see you soon too. Thank you. Stop it. If you cannot have second wife, then you don't have any business with side chick. Stop gallivanting around. Be responsible. Stop wasting the family money. I wish Yul Edochie all the best. And I pray that him and the wife will reconcile. I don't know. I pray that this doesn't also ruin his marriage with the first wife also. I pray that, it doesn't escalate because she's pissed. She's really angry. I mean, I would be mad. I would be furious if I discover my husband paid another bride price without my knowledge. So she has every right to be angry. She's justified. But I pray that her anger is calmed. I pray that Yul Edochie should do something to calm her down. He owes her that apology, public apology if possible, because he brought this news to the public without even, the wife knowing. So he owes her public apology, and he must make sure that he makes this woman happy, that she forgives him for that thing which he did. Because he has no business, sleeping around with a colleague in the first place. The only thing I'm saying is he did the right thing by going to pay her bride price instead of, having another baby mama outside there. Say, who made Solomon to deviate was the one that was not an Israelite and therefore not God's own people. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. You're right. So, guys, this is where I leave it. For those men who have the means, you have the means, you have the resources, you are strong enough, you are Odogu, your feet is on the ground. Not the baby husbands we have today, who cannot even take care of their children, who cannot even be responsible for their children. They don't have any business with polygamy. But for those men who are Odogu, those men who can run their home, those men who want to be responsible, who don't want to be saints in the church, and then demons outside, cheaters outside, those men who want to be responsible men, by all means, please, you are free to marry more wife if the one you have at home, and make sure you have a cogent reason. Don't just wake up and say you want to marry another woman. Have a cogent reason for that. If you do, there will be peace in your home. Polygamy can be sweet as monogamy. The same way monogamy has its crisis, polygamy equally has its own crisis. So choose that which you want. It's not for everybody. Remember, not everybody in the Bible got married to multiple women. Not everyone. So polygamy will not also be for everyone. It is for selected few who understands polygamy and who are ready to be responsible men, not irresponsible men sowing seed here and there, breaking hearts. All right, guys, I hope you've given me my thumbs up. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much. I'll be doing this more often every now and then. Thank you so much. If we're not connected, please by all means subscribe to this channel, Spicy Talk with Onwadiam. I talk about relationship and marriage, and I bring you topics that are related to, helping your marriage grow and making it a beautiful one. So please, guys, subscribe, and I will see you too. Have a blessed day. I'll leave it here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. See you all. Thank you, A29. Real G Show, thank you. I see you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. I see you all. I'm going through the chat. Bye. Bye. Thank you so much. Connect with me if we're not family. Connect with me, okay, please. Thank you so much. Bye.